Hello and welcome to the Edlio website video training series created by the Medford Township Public Schools. This video is designed specifically for secretaries or those who manage calendars of events for their buildings. In this video, I will walk you through how Edlio calendars are set up, accessing the calendar, adding events, modifying and deleting events, and we'll show you what the calendar of events will look like for the website visitors. First, let's talk about how the calendars are set up. When we switched over to our new website, we had the option of using the calendar feature that is built directly into the Edlio website. However, we chose to set up and utilize Google Calendars for each building that automatically sync with the website. This, in our opinion, is a more efficient way of maintaining the building calendars. It saves time by not having to log into the Edlio site each time you want to make a change. Additionally, housing the building calendars in Google allows us to more easily push out and manage district-wide events, such as the days off, marking period and trimester dates, and parent-teacher conferences, to name a few. So instead of 7 buildings having to manage these district dates, they will be managed centrally and pushed out to each building's calendar. This means that the building level is only responsible to add building-specific events, such as family nights, open houses, concerts, and the like. Another area of note in terms of how the calendars are set up is who owns each building calendar. As you know from using Google Docs, for example, there is always an owner of a document, and that document can be shared with others, either with view only or edit rights. In the case of our building calendars, all Google Calendars are owned by a centralized account, which is our Curriculum Office account. As you can see, the Curriculum account has all building-based calendars available to them. When you access your building's Google Calendar, you will only see your school's calendar, along with any personal calendars you may also have. These building calendars that are owned by the Curriculum account are shared out with each respective building with edit rights. The advantage of setting the calendars up in this fashion is that if we have transitions in our building staff through retirement, for example, the calendar will remain intact and can simply be shared with the new staff member. If each building owned their own calendar, it would make transitions from staff member to staff member much more difficult. Now that we understand the what and the why, let's take a look at how you will access your building's Google Calendar. Once your Medford email account has been added to your building calendar, you will receive, or you may already have, an email that looks like this. Click on the link that reads Add this calendar. This will add your building's calendar to your work account and will look like this. However, your school name will appear instead. From now on, to access Google Calendar, you can visit calendar.google.com. You may want to bookmark this link or even put an icon on your desktop for easy access. That covers accessing the Google Calendar. Once you have added the calendar, you will not have to repeat that step. Let's move into the third part, event management. For this, let's take a look at the live view. Here we are in Google Calendar. Let's take a look in the bottom left-hand corner where you have all of your different calendars listed. Everyone will have at least 2 calendars. They'll have their personal calendar, which is tied to their school account. And if you accepted the invitation to add your school calendar, you'll also have your school calendar listed. As you can see here on this account, I have a demo account and I have Kirby's Mill. You may have others. If you want to add calendars to your view, you can just put a check mark next to them. Or you can take check marks away if you don't want them to display. All of your calendars will show up in your main calendar area here, but they'll be different colors so that you know which calendar they're on. Let's take a look up in the top right corner. This is where you can customize your view. I can choose to view by day. I can choose to view by week. And if I select week, I can show weekends. Or I can take the weekends away. I can even show a monthly calendar. and I can even go by year. For this, let's put in the view for a weekly calendar, and you can see based off of this view, we're not showing weekends. So let's try and add an appointment. So here we are on Monday, June 1st. I can just click anywhere on June 1st, and this screen pops up, and I can add a title, June 1st appointment. From here, I can change the starting time. We're not going to have an appointment at 4 a.m., so let's make that an 8:30 a.m. appointment, and let's have it end at 10:30 a.m. This is very important. Make sure that when you're adding an event to your building calendar, you choose the building calendar on this drop-down. By default, it's going to try and add it to your personal calendar. If you do that, it will not show up on the Edlio site. We're going to need to make sure that on this drop-down, we choose your school. And you can see how the color changed. The color corresponds to the color on the calendars listed on the left panel. If I want to, I can add a location as well. Let's say this event is happening at Kirby's Mill at 151 Hartford Road. And I hit save. And that's it. I just added my first appointment. Let's add another appointment. Let's say we're going to add an appointment on June 2nd, and let's say it's going to go from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Now, when we added the appointment on June 1st, I just clicked, and then the screen popped up, and I changed the beginning and ending time. But what I could also do is I can click and drag for the entire length of the appointment. So if I'm going to have an appointment from 11 a.m. till 3 p.m., I can click and drag and let go at 3 p.m. And you can see by doing that, it automatically puts in the starting time and the ending time. I can go ahead and change that if I want to. It doesn't lock me in, but it does save a couple keystrokes. Let's go ahead and name this. This is a June 2nd appointment. Remember, by default, it's going to my personal account, so I need to switch that to my school account. And let's say that this is happening at the ShopRite of Hainesport. And I hit save. Now let's say I need to change anything about this appointment. If I just click on the appointment, you can see up here a little pencil. I click on the pencil, and now I can go back into the edit screen and I can edit anything I want with the appointment. And then I can hit save. I could also click and drag the appointment. Let's say instead of 11 a.m. to 3 p.m., this is going to be 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. I can click and I can drag. There, I just moved it to 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. I could even move it to a different day. I could click it and I can drag it over to Wednesday. Or I can click and drag it back over again. If I ever need to search for an appointment, in the top right corner here, you can see a little magnifying glass. I can click on the magnifying glass and a search box pops up, and I can type in anything I'm looking for, and it will bring up any appointment that matches those keywords. I hit the back button, and now I'm back into my calendar view. That's about how easy adding appointments is in Google Calendar. Now, let's take a look at what the community will see when they visit your school's website. Remember, we added a few appointments to our Google Calendar. Since it is set up to automatically sync with your new website, you won't have to do anything with Edlio. Just enter in your Google Calendar appointment, and the rest is done for you. Let's take a look. Now that we added a couple appointments to our calendar, we have one on June 1st and one on June 2nd. Let's take a look at what it's going to look like from the website visitor's point of view. What I'll do is I'll go to Kirby's Mill's website. I'll refresh, and I'll scroll down. You'll need to note that sometimes it can take up to 10 minutes for appointments to appear, or if you would delete an appointment, it could take up to 10 minutes for them to disappear. but usually it doesn't take that long. As you can see here, there's my June 1st appointment and my June 2nd appointment that I added into Google Calendar. Just for fun, let's go ahead and delete the appointment on June 2nd to see what that looks like. So what I'll do is I'll go back to my Google Calendar. Remember, I don't have to log into Edlio or do anything on the website. All I have to do is make the change in Google Calendar. Let's say I want to delete the June 1st appointment. I click on the appointment and I hit the trash can. Now remember, it could take a couple minutes for it to carry over to the Edlio website. I'm back on the Edlio website. I can either hit the refresh button, or on all of your school's website, if you hit the Medford logo, it will take you back to the main school page. And look at that, the June 1st appointment is gone. Now your school site has the ability to show up to 10 appointments on the main page. After it gets to about 4 or 5, there'll be a little scroll button where people can click to scroll over to the other appointments. But what they can also do is click on Show All Events. When they click on Show All Events, it takes them to this page where it will list all the events for this school. Another way to get there is through the Calendars menu option. They can click on Kirby's Mill School Calendar, and it would take them to the same page. From here, the visitor can click on the appointment, and they can actually add this appointment to their own Google Calendar. They can actually come over here to the print option and click print and just print that event's details. They can click on a yearly overview and they'll be able to see every day that has an event for the school year. They can click subscribe. If they click subscribe, they'll actually subscribe to this calendar and it will add this calendar to their personal calendar so that anytime you make a change, it will reflect on their personal calendar so that they don't have to keep coming back and visiting the school page over and over again. If I click on calendar view, it brings me to a monthly calendar. And I could actually print this, and I think parents would really like this because all of the events will be on this monthly page and they can click print and they can put it right on their refrigerator. So a lot of options, but what I wanted to show you is how easy it is. We didn't have to do anything on the website. All we have to do is come over to Google Calendar and make the changes on Calendar and it will automatically update on your school website. In review, we took a look at setting up the calendar, accessing it, managing events, and we saw that the calendar looks like on your new website. Remember, each year, district events and dates such as winter breaks, parent-teacher conferences, and professional development days will automatically be pushed out to your calendars. All you need to do is manage your building-specific events. If you have any questions or need further assistance, please reach out to the Curriculum Office.